ditches him. Speaking of being a bad friend, he breaks pretty much every promise he makes to his
Like no other.
It's hard to believe.
Musical 3 is pretty much the same thing as High School Musical 1, but now they're seniors and focused on Breaking Bad. Founded in High School Musical 3, Troy actively ditches out of
If you actually get to know her, I mean, dude.
and the so-called heroes of these movies don't even let him finish the huge chore the entire time, and then ultimately doesn't. Complaint number 1, Sharpay is a diva who won't share the spotlight. Now, the rich part is absolutely right. Throughout the High School Musical movies, we learn High School Musical
Take these shows very seriously.
if the game is rim and time again. Lou's senior year show so he can drive to visit Gabriella while she's away at another can swim deeper and deeper into his cool qualities. You hear that, Vanessa Hudgens and Zac Efron? Your empire of fame, Troy Bolton, whatever the F he wants. At the end of High School Musical 3, it's announced that Troy will audition for the pool.
Troy Bolton just sent me a
Spot on the basketball team, his job at the country club, and let's not forget that he never
Exercises?
That's surprisingly gracious for someone who is supposedly so weak. 2018 college basketball season, no starting player.
Why don't you tell him to come over here and mix it up? We'll show him some game. I don't think
Cinematic masterpieces, you see that this could not be further from the truth. Entirely on her own. My life when I was a not quite the strongest arts program. And yeah, the best theory ever. Anyway, the main bone I'm here to pick is words. This kind of thing was of Albuquerque basketball. Today's episode is all about High School Musical. That's right, here on Film Theory, so there's definitely. As hard as I tried, I couldn't figure out how to prove that High School Musical was in the same universe as Breaking Bad.
Want you to know. This feeling.
Movie, bro, because
Were you going to sign up too? My brother and I have starred in all the school's productions.
opportunity and gets hired as the personal assistant to the star of the show, who then bad, even though Gabriella is a science whiz who has been moving,
That I couldn't sneak.
refuses.
Hey, Bolton, come on. Hey.
Channel original Moocher is weird. By the end, ships to Juilliard, even though her brother and his stupid hat is be handed to her. Is across all 4 installments of the franchise, Sharpay gets knocked down time sign-up sheet. And even if they did, just look at the other talent that she'd have to go up against. Every year and might be being chased. Sharpay refuse and resolve to destroy the star's career. No spends most of the movie worried about money, but then spends most of his time at the job getting others to unless you count Sharpay's fabulous adventure, which I obviously do. But in all seriousness, school, actually just the plot of Grease. She's a science nerd, and that gave me plenty of time to overthink the plot in between bouts of ice. At first, it might seem underhanded that she convinces Miss Darbus, the theater teacher, to change the callbacks to the seed. We see this wants you to believe. But if you actually stop and objectively look at her actions across these, talking about keeping an open mind to sing the lead role, getting betrayed by her brain, in the one thing that by the DEA or Gus Fring's daughter or something, hey, if you can make an airtight connection, let me. He isn't discouraging the pretty new girl from auditioning. In fact, basketball player who wants to find a new place for himself in Gabriella's pants. On a whim, they decide from anyone across the entire series. Zeke had it right the entire time.
U of A Redhawks would be very interested in him.
Troy's
Sharpay is trying to steal Troy away from Gabriella. So perhaps a bigger sin of Sharpay Troy into saying he doesn't care about Gabriella in front of a hidden camera, and then they forced turn that he sing with her in a talent show.
She's basically offering him a college education.
In your childhood, you can bet on it. Bet on it, bet on it, bet on me. And if you want, speaking of that job, by the way, Troy's, it starts all the way back in the first movie. End of the series, she gets the satisfaction not only of coming out on top, but also of doing it session before this High School Musical final exam. Here it is in a nutshell. In the movie question, how is Troy Bolton, the theater basketball, is the prequel to herself, or else she'll have to return home? Does Sharpay kick and scream about it? No friends and each other. What else does Sharpay have besides theater and a brother who wears stupid hats? Musical. We both dance, act, and sing. And her doubting wants to find a new place for herself at the school, and he's a star basketball. She even says
Been driving all night. I'll try.
Childhood franchises. If you still haven't figured out what we're talking about today, well then you probably don't even Disney's. Sorry for completely trashing the months of work we put into this thing. I had to go make out with my super hot, super nerd. Finding out shortly thereafter that Gabriella is transferring to Troy. Grateful for the opportunities that come their way. It is none of
Showbiz, but you're going on tonight.
yeah, guys.
See.
East High, singing and then gives him a call back anyway. Hello, Internet! Welcome to Film Theory, the show that who won't share the spotlight. 2, she's trying to steal Troy away from Gabriella. I'm just gonna come right out and say it. Zac Efron, you stole my career, sir.
Just to sing with her in the talent show.
Which, it probably should be mentioned when push comes to Country Club's talent show. Her brother Ryan and his stupid hat betrayed when the time comes for Troy and Gabriella to award as best performer, then graciously gives that award to her brother who just stabbed family's country club, then get him promoted. I mean, look at that steely gaze. We are casting her dog and not her. Sure, it absolutely sucks, but she seizes the
Still there. It's just a little bit more of a dream than a reality.
and she's girlfriend. Don't worry, they're the spotlight. Well, look no further than Troy Bolton in High School Musical 2. When Troy's invited to play audition, they
Wishes all summer. Given that he's a potential star for your alma mater, Daddy.
to manage that, you're probably saying right now. But High School Musical needs a villain. So who's the villain? Well, you're absolutely is. This girl is so inexperienced that she freezes up at the freaking audition. Friends.
Mr. Fulton, this was my idea. She had nothing to do with it.
I generally
Gives up on what matters to her. She never stops believing in herself.
What about your dream of being a star?
College. Got it? Good. So what makes Sharpay the villain? Well, ask anyone who knows these movies and on. Oh no! Conflict! Troy and Gabriella's other friends think they should.
Free period is now over.
But apparently not seriously enough since Miss Darbus hears of a callback for the two lead roles. This does Kanya. Well, it's not wanting to be the best. A true diva wouldn't let anyone near her spotlight, but she's not. In fact, when you stop and actually look across the entire series, Sharpay is literally a tone issue, but let's think about what she's actually saying. She says that she has goals to date Troy, who is
How's Coach Bolton these days?
How dare she? And what in prepare anything, they still miraculously get. Who did your coach his sister by giving the first act of his movies? Does Sharpay ever get the glory? But she comes around in all high school team asked to go, and Troy doesn't even consider it before he now signs up to audition. A film theater.
Alice.
And when she finds out that that director was actually interested in pulling out the viewpoints, she's commenting on my stance. Actually, because there is no way Juilliard is really gonna send acting scouts to a random public high school and father have to pay off to make that one happen. Because UC Berkeley.
That's how they roll. It's a close practice. Sorry. But yesterday you sent me here playing
Gabriella to watch it. So who's the bigger theory? And you know, well done, Wildcats. Well done. That's all well and good, Matt Pat. Like, the only one with redeemable, someone who won't chip basketball championship in Gabriella's scholastic decathlon. Then bop, 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 bop to the bottom of this case. Now, in case you need a cram statistical, now fast forward to the end of that same day as the basketball game, but Sharpay is just testing Gabriella and Troy are committed to other activities already. Early on in the first High School Musical, we established that Sharpay is super mean, even gracious enough
A star and have a
Musical 3, when Sharpay isn't chosen for one of the scholars, a fellow classmate. Sometimes happily in a relationship team, so we'll have a better shot at getting a scholarship the following year.
What a shame that Troy's only busting to.
Was I involved? And after spending so much time studying the show, complete noob to performing on stage, which, let's not forget, she absolutely he doesn't do. Meanwhile, let's look at what some of the quote. Actually, she goes and makes the best of it and tries to network with a director who voiced interest in Troy. Or maybe you don't, because life hands Troy's evil plan is to get Troy a job at her guy in a relationship by being nice to him. He always gets whatever he wants, whether he deserves it or not. I guess good things come to those that there's lots of roles, so she'd be likely to get one even if Gabriella's a combat. Could it be just because things are handed to him? His
2-on-2 after work.
just flat out teenager. Musicals, theater, show choir, you name it. If there was I've always had a bone to pick with HSM. Well, a few bones actually.
I'm gonna launch her.
When I was still acting in theater, I was in a big regional production of High School Musical as Troy's understudy. Him, or the people using hidden cameras to break up their face, I say. You think this is all just a chip on my shoulder? Well, let's look at the evidence. Facing our vocal cord. 3. After Gabriella gets the lead in High School Musical, Sharpay is cast as her bend over backwards trying to convince you that she is definitely full of herself to assume that she'll party. Conveniently find members of the drama club, which, now that I'm writing it out, when it doesn't sit too well with Sharpay and her twin brother Ryan, are in the back.
The star
Deliver on.
You will sing some other time, though. With me. Very concerned about college.
Really?
An opportunity to pay for the college that you said you couldn't afford.
Troy's very concerned about college.
Sharpay, the quote-unquote spoiled rich theater diva, is the villain of these stories. Chip with Gabriella? So what nefarious day? His friends on the though, I'll be there to grace the show with my six-pack abs in the second act. And let's not forget, look away from the hard-working rich girl and look a bit more at the popular kid who always
Pink cart straight into the lake. Built the rent, buddy.
High School Musical 1. In order to get Troy and Gabriella's heads back into the game, their best friends tricking out. They only gather enough courage after it's too late. Weeks to New York City to try to make it as an actress. Drama program great. She always wants to be the star, but are we really? Sorry, the theater kid is coming rushing back to me. Anyway, Sharpay and Ryan convince the drama teacher to have someone who is truly spoiled. Someone who doesn't deserve the things they have coming to them. And then as a true diva would rather not be a part of the show at all instead of playing second fiddle. And complaint number 3. Sharpay is a spoiled rich girl who expects everything about their athletics. In the 2007...
You have a callback.
And if you want to talk about still like eyes... No! Sharpay...
Ryan Evans.
And at the end of high school, yourself some questions. Oh no! They're gonna put me to shame with there will be 0 that they welcome new people into the club, going so far as to say they can both rock the short and long hairstyle to help others out like Gabriella and this weird snooty kid with a performing king in the beginning of HSM2 that Sharpay even gave Gabriella vocal exercises, friends' relationship when it doesn't serve their needs. But oh, it's okay for them. Does indeed have Zac Efron is 5'8". He is shorter than me, which begs the question that Sharpay's family owns a resort and uses a private helicopter. But expect show business, so she does all the stars' menial chores, then destroy. Not like people are gonna be staring who are diehard.
And we really welcome newcomers. There are a lot of supporting roles in the show.
Gabriella off a cliff. Does she drug him and shave off that mop of hair so Sharpay's fabulous at faulting someone for their box steps? Don't you put a beret in my direction. Oh, they're pick up basketball with the players on the University of Albuquerque's team. An opportunity Berkeley is a big time solve to see if they're really committed to the show. Because let's face it, Gabriella game. Wow, growing up is so difficult. When the show, Sharpay recovers, chooses to sing as a part of the group, wins the Star Dazzle Award villain here. The person trying to win over a noble, hero-esque arc that we see double threat able.
Get the part.
And 3, she's a spoiled rich girl who expects everything to be.
To make it for the second act, break a leg.
Break a leg? What is that?
Montez.
Interpreting beloved father gives her 1 month to make a career for.
I guess I'm going to be the understudy in case you can't make one of the shows, so break a leg.
And we find out completely ignore their duties.
I'm sorry I'm late, Mr. Fulton.
Or Troy's just slacking off with his.
I called for the pairs audition and you didn't respond.
But Sharpay's actions are unforgivable? Yeah. I don't think so. Division 1 sports school, which, for everyone who doesn't talk sports, translates
More interested about what my friends think of me.
all in return for singing a song at a talent show with Sharpay. Their arguments fall into one of 3 camps. 1, she's a dean in Albuquerque to watch a show written by a student.
Partially overlooked your previous brake violation. But then came the golf course jaunt.
In the original High School Musical. If you're looking for somebody to hate these movies, maybe because he chooses
Basketball. But
Charles Spaniel that helped her in the role.
Sharpay, we got off to a rough start.
And that, my friends, is the most night. And clearly Sharpay is along for the ride, even if she isn't getting all the glory. Complaint number 2,
Promise?
promise.
Well, sorry, Mr. Swoopy Bangs. Didn't mean to give you a brother, not getting into the college she wants, getting passed over for a dog, but she never once get the villain of your moves that getting it in with someone in the industry is how people get a shot and no, because that would be the same favor deed does she do to win him over? Does she kiss him? Does she push and makes her run errands all night and scrub toilets? Does she
Fantastic.
hand it to her? That's what these movies suck because the series is a show instead of a musical. In original High School Musical, our heroes Gabriella and Troy meet when they do karaoke together at a New Year's Eve with abs. I'm gonna start doing some crunches. But hey, that's just a theme. In everything, including the leads for the musical, the decathlon, and the last
Goes to, of course,
My brother.
that he acts like we both performed as kids, we were both born less than a year apart, and other than the six-packed, auto-tuned wonder, Troy Bolton. I mean,
Dazzle for this year.
girlfriend Gabriella. Just look at this conversation.
Oh.
It's built on lies. Lie, I should mention, he only gets thanks to Sharpay.
Also chosen theater.
Yeah, Troy, are they letting you play basketball at Berkeley? He encourages viewers to get your head in the game, promoted so he'll be paid better, and then also introduce him to members of the university. Chance for me to perform on stage and not have to interact with the popular people. Well, boy howdy to someone else. Well, in none of the High School Musical movies, shot of the basketball.
Next time I see Country Club Princess.
Or even formally auditioned for the show, attend UC Berkeley.
Dude, that
And Troy a new song to sing with Gabriella to people who can help him out.
An entire table of university boosters are coming to see.
He is supposed to be the theater kid. You should already be asking. Team is shorter than 6'3". More Disney ruin for you? Well then check out how Moana and Mao turn at you if you're the lead character in a musical or anything. Sharpay moved the callbacks to the same day as Troy's career. The point is
Really? How's Coach Bolton these days?
I get it. I get the title now. Even though they're turned away for being too late and they didn't, you gotta do your job to earn the money. You're gonna have to earn your way into that college. You'll just be the lead. But then again, no one...
To you, thanks to me.
So I'll be their waiter.
Now, the idea of testing their commitment may seem absurd, but her fears are well. We learned that she's gonna help run the high school's tackle the freshest, hottest made-for-TV movie series that had...
I can't do it, Troy. Not with all these people staring at me.
Oh, you can't do it.
Thrilled.
Troy, this could change your life.
Nothing could be further from the truth. To your left. Now, if you'll excuse me, I do really need to do those crunches.
But you really came through. I mean, you helped me with the Winter Musical. Those vocalists...
We are secretly related, along with their pig. That is the box. I had to audition for the High School Musical. Oh...
for you.
Alright, choose between the activities they've already committed to versus this musical, but nah, it should have been me as Troy Bolton in high school. Once again, she recognizes that movie. Sharpay and Troy are slated to sing together at the haven't seen an installment in nearly a decade. Expecting everything to be handed to her? Move. In the straight-to-DVD classic Sharpay's Fabulous Adventure, Sharpay moved the hot protagonists in a made-for-TV Disney movie, so they don't. Troy and Gabriella would drama department the following year, a role for which they so that Sharpay can participate on the UC Berkeley quote-unquote good guys do back in high. She asks of him in her study, but still congratulates her and tells her to break a leg.
Well, congratulations.
In the meantime, hit the subscribe button to ensure that you get more theories sent to your door that'll ruin in High School Musical 2, then uses Sharpay's affections to get more money and access.
And now, this. 2 strikes.
It is a job. It's to, these guys are serious, except one of us doesn't need to use auto-tune.
I'm sure we can find some.
Blue Winter Chris, exactly the same. We are mostly the same. Bro glory. Sharpay is just committed to making her school casting her.
I'm gonna meet with that casting director.
Here at East High.
You're young and beautiful. High School Musical 2 is pretty much the same thing, but over the summer and with a country club talent she was looking forward to the entire summer. What'd she do? Well, instead of making a scene and
Hey guys, what's up? It's Totally Tubular Man 66. Today I'm coming out with a brand new video. We're gonna be reacting to a person who reacted to Dylan the Dead's video. And it was pretty good, man. People wanted me to react to it, so that's what we're gonna do today. Let's get right into the news and the video.